Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to talk about something today that a lot of us wonder about, especially when it comes to our hair. And it's so important, for self-esteem, confidence, vanity reasons. Our hair is important to us. Let's admit it. It really is, man or woman, doesn't matter. And sometimes your hair can thin. You may be losing hair and you haven't figured out why. There's a lot of things that can lead to that. We've talked about some of those reasons in the past, stress being one of them. What about your nutrition? It can play a role in that. And we're going to talk about that and lots more. She is a certified trichologist. That's somebody who knows all about hair loss, and she helps individuals with this and more, prevention and also restoration. Hair loss centernj.com is her website. LaRon Quarles Wright is back with us. How you doing today?
How are you, sir? Everything is good.
Very well. And great to have you back here. And I'm glad we're talking about this today because it came up in conversation among people. I hang with friends, my circle, that nutrition can really play a role in the quality of your hair. Is that true?
Yeah, it is definitely true. I know we spoke maybe a podcast or two ago regarding nutrition. And one of the things that I mentioned was you need to have an assortment of food in your diet because different colors of the rainbow provide different benefits and different nutrition. So I have a lot of clients that I meet with, and they tell me, "Oh, I eat the same thing all the time," but every so often you need to kind of vary
Hmm.
some of the things that you get in your diet because you need an assortment of everything under the rainbow, including nuts, seeds, legumes and beans, and fruits and vegetables with protein being on the list. It just depends on the type of protein that you need to have, but you need to have an assortment and it needs to be as minimally processed as possible to retain all of the nutrients, even though the way food is grown these days, it's, the soil has been eradicated. But if you can find nutrient dense foods, it's good to have freshly prepared foods or as close to raw as possible or lightly sauteed. Not everyone can handle raw foods, but it's close to minimally processed as possible. But a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of nuts and seeds, a lot of things as close to it being harvested as possible. And I say like minimally processed, not packaged. If it's in a package or a bag, it's probably not good for you.
Hmm. I've gotten in the habit of buying less and less fruit, fresh fruit, if you will, because it's really not fresh. It's just not. It's loaded with chemicals, and then it's got to go from point A to point B to C to D to on and on and on. To your point, I buy frozen now because it's my understanding that it's harvested, it's frozen, and I found that I don't have to worry about it going bad, getting moldy. My gosh, I get strawberries. I'm good for maybe 3 days. I'm like, come on. I can't even.
Yeah.
And all I do is remind my daughter, eat strawberries, eat the strawberries, eat them, eat them, eat them. Because they're just going to go bad. And it's going to be a waste of $5 in the garbage. So frozen. I love it. It tastes
Yeah.
fresher, better quality. I love making smoothies. So a lot of times I would add ice. I don't need to because I get the frozen slushy consistency in the smoothie coming from the frozen fruit. Organics. Organics.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Organics, if you can, because I like to watch a lot of animal and farm shows, and it's a fine line. The moment antibiotics or some sort of penicillin or anything enters into the animal's life, it's no longer certified organic. So I really understand when it is organic, it has no pesticides, no antibiotics, nothing sprayed on it, which is it's a lot if you can find that these days because it's the herbicides and pesticides are grown into the seeds. So it's a little bit challenging to find authentic organic, but if you can, that's great because, like I stated on a previous webinar that we've had together, the toxicity from food and the toxicity from your water, your deodorants, things, the cosmetics that you put on you, they are endocrine disruptors, and whether people know it or not, the endocrine system is very influential in helping you grow hair. So anything that you take in that has organic properties is so much better for you than just eating something that doesn't, because there's so much added to our food these days. It's just mind-boggling that the processing and the
Oof.
chemicals and the additives that are added to food. So yes, organic is great.
Costs more, but in the long run, I find usually lasts longer, doesn't spoil as soon, and it looks better just out of the gate. And the other day I was buying I buy like mini peppers and I cut them up and I put them in a salad. I just love peppers. And they didn't have the ones I normally get. So I was passed by the organic section and oh wait, they're there. Yeah, a little bit more money, but my gosh, they looked so much better and fresher. I'm like, I'm buying you. And that's it.
Yeah, they are good for you.
What
But I
about,
do hear that complaint a lot, about the expense, but you get what you
yeah,
pay for.
that's just it. And look at how much money you're wasting when you buy fruits and vegetables and they go bad because you didn't even get a chance to, you got to get to some of the fruit like within days, couple of days, or it starts strawberries again. Like blows my mind how they, how they get moldy so fast. Um,
Yeah.
what are some of the things? We talked about nuts and different types of things that we should be eating. Um,
Hmm.
and what we shouldn't be eating, things that are more processed or could include pesticides. Before we move out of that area, any other things that we should be mindful of?
Oh, well, for me, I'm sorry. I consider myself a gut whore. I'm so sorry, but I am an authentic gut whore.
Explain,
I
please.
I I'm sorry. I love for my clients to eat anything that's going to help their gut move. Now, it's different for everybody. I know for myself, fresh leafy greens like spinach and kale and things like that work for me. For others, it may be apples. For someone else, it may be plums or prunes. But I say you need to make sure that whatever it is that you're eating, it needs to move through your system as quickly as possible. I've had some physicians say, oh, everyone's body is different. You don't need to go once a day. For me, I consider, as a gut whore, I consider everything that you eat, you need to eat it with intention. You need to make sure that whatever it is that you're eating, the fiber that you're adding, moves through so that it pushes out a bowel movement every single day, because I see the end result of it. I see the eczema, the psoriasis, the itchy skin, the alopecia opiacis, that all stems from a weak gut. And I see the
Mm,
moods,
wow.
and my clients are subjected to trying to take serotonin reuptake and all types of different things because the guts are so weak. So you have to eat what's going to move and tunnel through there quickly.
Mm, yeah, great point. And I've talked to some um, experts with the gut, and many of them say you should be going to the bathroom more than once a day. And many of us like, I don't know what's happened. I was back in the bathroom again. That's okay. As long as when you go, it's, looks okay. There's no issues there. But if you go more than once, you should be. That's what they say, because you should always be keeping the system moving, so to speak.
Right.
Hmm.
Exactly. So eat with intention. That's always what I like to leave my clients with before they leave my clinic, is to eat with intention. Make sure that what it is that you're eating, the fresh fruit, the fresh food, the anything that helps you go normally or makes you go a little bit more quicker, eat that and include it in your diet often, because that works for you.
Hmm. What about supplements? What are your thoughts?
Sure. So which type? Referring to
What
what?
what should
Like
we should
any.
we should we be taking them? Should we not? If we should be, what which one should we be taking, or we should be eating so we don't have to take them, eating the right stuff so we don't have to take them.
There's just no way possible that everyone is getting everything that they need every single day. And of course, like I mentioned earlier in a previous discussion we had together, when I do a scan on a client, I only really like to give what the client needs, because you're just taking nutrients that you probably don't really need, that you're going to urinate out. And with products out on the market today, they are not cheap. They are an investment. And if you don't have to take something that you don't need, don't take it. But if I had a choice, I always recommend to everyone products like Mary Ruth's or Isotonics brand or Nutrimetrics brand that is liquid and water based. Anything that's water based or is a liquid is accepted into your bloodstream and into your body quicker than if you had to take a pill or a capsule. So I'd say if you had to do anything, take something water based, but don't necessarily take something that you don't need. Try to find out what it is that you need, but making sure that you get all of your water soluble and your fat soluble vitamins, making sure you're getting your antioxidants, your anti-inflammatories, and your pre and your probiotics. You should be in good
Mm.
shape.
We skimmed it quickly, but I want to go there. Pre and probiotics. I get
Hmm.
confused. What's the difference?
Right. Well, the prebiotic fiber is actually food for probiotic fiber in I'm sorry, probiotic bacteria in the gut. So it's like the bacteria needs something to eat. So the prebiotic fiber helps feed the good bacteria in the gut. So it's always good. I recommend a product by Organic India, and it's a nutritional fiber that I give to just about all of my clients when I know that their guts aren't moving. It has pre and probiotic fiber, and within one serving of you taking it, you're in the bathroom by the end of the day or the next day without that terrible etching in your gut that makes you feel like you've taken a laxative because you need that food for the good bacteria in your gut, but you need to repopulate the good bacteria due to medication, due to a stressful event, due to the fact that most people don't eat enough probiotics.
Yep.
So that's something that I always recommend. It's just food for the good bacteria in your gut.
I'm gonna write that one down. What's the name of that product?
It's called Organic India. You mind if I grab something off the
Oh, go
shelf
right
behind me?
ahead. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm interested about that. So many of us take, certain fiber products, et cetera. And we don't even know if we're taking the
It,
right stuff.
it's called Organic India. I know this may or may not be straight. It may be backwards,
No, I got
but
it. It's
they all
clear.
yeah, they have another product that I usually recommend, and it's across the top, and it'll say pre and probiotic fiber along with the fiber. It's not just psyllium, but I have some clients who have not gone to the bathroom in a week, and I have to give them the heavy hitter, which is the straight up psyllium.
Whoa. I don't know um, how you could go a week. It happens. I get it. And then I have some friends that sometimes will go out and find, they might eat something and they got to run to the bathroom. So they'll take, I guess, Imodium to make sure they
Hmm.
don't go. And I'm like, oh, how can you get it? How are you doing that?
Yeah,
Because you're just messing up your system, I believe.
yeah,
But I guess,
yeah.
they want to feel comfortable when they're out. What about biotin? Like you'll see products, good for the nails and hair. Is that stuff, do you need it?
Biotin is always needed. Lately, I've been finding a lot of my clients when I've been giving them the bioscan here in the clinic. Many of the clients recently the coenzyme comes up for biotin. A lot of clients need biotin in their lives. That is a coenzyme, so it helps another process work more effectively. So if you have the biotin or a CoQ10 or another coenzyme taken into your diet, it makes other processes in the body work more effectively. So when you don't have it, things just don't work as quickly or as fast as we'd like. So for some people, yeah, biotin is a necessary evil. But you can't take it if you're prone to thyroid problems and thyroid issues, or you're about to have a thyroid scan or thyroid blood work. You absolutely cannot have it for at least 3 to 5 days before you have your test because it'll throw the test off.
How would you know you even need it?
Again, I only know that someone needs it when I do a scan,
Okay.
when I perform a scan on them.
And
Because
just,
I don't just recommend anyone just take biotin for the sake of taking biotin.
you mentioned the scan before, just to refresh everyone. How does that scan
Mhm.
work?
Well, it's a device where you just, you lay your hand on it or you stick your finger inside of it. It reads the electrical conductivity. So it takes a reading from you, and actually the device, it kind of works like a lie detector. It will find out from you which items are resonating on the scale of electricity as far as what it is that you need. Your body will actually let it know through an electrical reading at that point in time. It's just like how the lie detector can tell by your rapid heartbeat or your rapid breathing that you're probably lying. So this is able to
Wow.
detect which types of minerals, which deficiencies you have. If you have left ventricle issues, you have low blood pressure, your gut's not working. We're able to identify and assess that through the reading.
Wow. What do you say to people that might say, how can that be accurate? How is that? How are you really getting information from somebody doing that?
That particular type of person, because I do have a client like that, maybe once every 100 clients, I'll have the client that'll say, oh, how do I know that's true? And how do I know that's right? All I have to do is kind of read it through with you, look at your symptoms, see what it is that you're sharing with me. And I know myself that it is true. I have confirmed plenty of I have confirmed plenty of issues with people, and they have said, "Oh yeah, I had that, and I didn't know that, and yes, I have this." And additionally, when they confirm with me, their doctor's visits and some previous issues that they have, they're all confirmed in the scan. So for that
Wow.
one who says, "Oh, they're naysayers," it's okay because I'm trying to move them to the side and get to the 99. Because not everyone is comfortable. There are always going to be someone that's going to say that doesn't work. They're no different than the devices that your physician uses in his office. So the physician's devices don't work either. Which one will work? Which one will you believe?
Well, you have the validation you have from the person you did the scan with, and it's also the same way. I believe the body doesn't lie, so that's where you're getting that information from. And there's also something called I think it's kinetics, but it's muscle testing, where there's
Mm-hmm.
different techniques where you can get a baseline for a yes and no answer and ask somebody while they're doing the muscle test. And it could be as simple as literally swaying, standing in a doorway. And if you sway one way or sway the other way, that is a yes or a no. Your body is not going to lie. So I find it fascinating that it can give up information. Like if you said, um, are you getting enough vitamin D? Whatever it might be, and your body's going to answer
Mm-hmm.
for you because it's bypassing your logic and your brain. And in that the scan, the muscle test, whatever it is, comes back to the same thing. The body tells the truth. Pretty amazing.
Yep.
It really is. Uh, some of the other things connected to nutrition. Anything else that we're missing here that we should be mindful of when it comes to our hair?
Not necessarily. I will add this though before we conclude. I do get a lot of people when they initially reach out to me. I'll just ask them a brief series of questions because I'm looking for a certain type of client to work with. I'm not really interested in working with someone who's not proactive. But you can tell by the way they answer some of the questions. I will say this: when someone reaches out to me and they're having hair loss challenges, one of the first things I will ask is, are you taking a nutritional supplement? And they'll say, well, no, I don't feel like taking pills. I don't feel like taking anything extra. Oh, I don't like taking this. I don't like taking that. So that kind of person may or may not work well with me because I need people who are receptive because you have to be proactive if something is bothering you or plaguing you. If you have a headache, you should probably take something to relieve the headache. Whether you drink something natural or consume it in a tablet or pill, you should be proactive. So will you just sit around and just deal with the headache? I need to work with people who are more cognizant of their experience and they're aware that, oh, I need to make some changes. So it's always good when I speak with clients and they say, well, yeah, I am taking this, I am taking that. So I know you're already in the habit of consuming things. It's not going to be so much of a chore for me to have you reconsidering adding or removing some of those items. But if you're just against it and you're telling me initially that, no, I'm not doing this, they're going to be a little bit difficult in the onset, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Absolutely. It sounds like you got to do your part. You as a trichologist are doing your job, but the individual needs to as well. It's not like you're just going to throw them a pill. Here, take this. Your hair will be fine. It doesn't work that way. Hmm. I've never asked this. We've got about a minute or so left. Are all shampoos basically just shampoo, or you need to be very selective in terms of what you use?
Well, because I'm formerly trained as a hairstylist, there's not one shampoo for everyone. If you have fine hair, you may want to have shampoos that have thickeners in them, have pathanol to make the hair follicle feel a little bit thicker and fuller. If you have dry hair, you need to have a moisturizing shampoo. For colored hair, you need to have a color treated shampoo. For scalp issues, you need to have a scalp related shampoo. But then you also need to supplement that with a product for your hair as well. So when clients visit, I have to always assess which two shampoos I'm going to recommend, because if you have hair, you also need to worry about the hair quality. But if you're having scalp issues, I have to give you something for your scalp. So, there's not one size shampoo that fits everyone. For me, it's always, okay, what is A, what is B? And then we work from there.
And the more expensive brands, are they really worth it?
It depends. I'm an ingredient snuffer, so I'm going to always take the back of the bottle and read and see what the top 3 to 5 products are. And depending on what's included, I mean, I don't have a problem with paying for something that is pricey or has, higher investment. And, it depends on what it is and how it makes my hair feel. I know when I go to different events and, they allow us to kind of, feel the shampoo and use it on a mannequin or use it on a client. Sometimes you can just feel the buffers and this is what I would like to use in my salon, or I would like this on my hair because of the way it leaves the hair and how it makes the hair feel, but it has to be great products. So it's not always a bad thing if it's pricey. It depends on what it contains.
Gotcha. Or consult with an expert like this. Best way, you're in New Jersey. Uh, Obviously, somebody needs to physically come to you for majority of situations. However, yeah, if they want to call upon you just with questions as a consultant, pretty much can be anywhere like we're talking right here today. Best way to find you, how do we do that, LeBron?
Anyone can find me by just visiting our website, hairlosscenternj.com, or they can find SBL Hair Loss LLC on Google. We are in Pleasantville, New Jersey, and we can be reached via email, info@hairlosscenternj.com, or by phone, 609-710-8102.
I truly appreciate your knowledge and how deep you run with it. I've never run into anybody that is so passionate about what they do, and love it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Steve.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.